welcome back. I hope you're working out. I hope you're taking care of yourself. It's important, you know? I mean, you don't need a machine like this, although I recommend it. Alright. Got a new one for you today. Thought this was interesting. This is about immigration. Or illegal immigration, I would say. But, you know, the UK is dealing with something else entirely. So let's talk about it. I'm gonna switch over. Okay, let's have a one-to-one for a minute. I'll go back to this. There's a second video. It just kind of shows the outcome of all this. Here's the thing, guys. This is not what we want, okay? I think it goes without saying. Especially if you're watching me. I think you already know better. But it's good to show this stuff. It's good to see what our reality could have been, okay, in the United States. And also is a problem in some cases. And let me say this. It's not just your buses, your public transportation. It's your hospitals, your medical bills, your government assisted services, your social services, right? It's a huge problem. When you go into the emergency room and you have to wait 2-3 hours because you've got 100 or 200 illegal immigrants there trying to seek care. It is so much of a bigger problem than what people realize. It's massive, guys. It affects all of us at all times. And you know what's so funny? It's sad to see this. Let me switch over again real quick. It's sad to see this because these people probably voted for it. But I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I don't want to assume. But there are a lot of people who are reaping the consequences of stuff like this. And it's really sad. And there are also a lot of people who are reaping the consequences of stuff like this and they didn't vote for this. They didn't want this at all. It's horrible. It's not good. It's a mixed bag of problems, right? And like I said, it affects so many systems and so many people in different ways. And what's so funny, reading these comments, look at this. This is what happens when you import the third world, okay? That's the OG poster. Yes, this is a huge problem. Forget, even if they were amazing citizens, they're just completely integrated and they absolutely love the country and they're patriotic. You've just introduced too many people. Just that by itself is a huge problem. The overpopulation or the sudden mass amount of people will cause so many problems. It will increase the cost of living drastically. It'll increase the cost of everything. It'll increase the cost of your livelihood. Let's be honest. All right, let's read a few more comments. This is what liberal wealth wants for us. Yeah, and I would say what's really funny about that is that these people will sit up in their ivory towers. They will never, I'm switching over. They will never deal with this. They will sit up in their ivory towers, playing with themselves, feeling so virtuous and amazing. Look how wonderful and inclusive we are. We let in a bunch of illegal immigrants. We're great people. It's all about inclusiveness and variety and all this amazing stuff. Meanwhile, they're up in their mansions. They're in areas that normal people are not, right? They're in all these areas. And they will never use public transportation. They won't use public services like this. In hospitals, medical care, they don't have to deal with it the same way. They have tons of money. They don't have to worry about that. That's typically the people that make decisions like this. They are unaffected by the decisions. They are unaffected by it all. And, that's like worst case. In best case scenario, they are completely sheltered from it. And by the time they destroy their country, by the time they realize, rather, and then they will have destroyed their country, it's too late. It's too late. So, it's insane. Let's continue watching this a little bit and I'll read a few more comments. Also, this poor lady being basically almost trampled here. She's just being shoved aside. They don't care at all. They don't give a damn about her and her trying to move and get through. They don't care. They're just marching through because it's not. This country, for them, is nothing to them. It's just a bunch of people who are not assimilated, who don't care, who don't respect its citizens, who don't respect where they are, and they're just trampling everyone. Me, mine, mine. Me, mine, mine. Yeah. Let's go to the next one. Yeah, they're just like, what the fuck just happened? How do I deal with this? It's insane, guys. Reading a few more comments here. Poor old woman, I genuinely feel so bad for her. Oh, there goes my timer. When you bring them here, they make here there. Yeah, that's a good point. When you bring the third world or, poor countries en masse, guys, en masse to another country, that's what's likely going to happen. It's going to turn very similar or feel like that country. That's not what we're here for. This is our country. We want to enjoy the things that we have earned, what we've built over decades, in this case over there, thousands of years, guys. Come on. So, surprised that all these doctors and engineers haven't got their own cars. That's funny. Yeah, no, that's definitely not the case there. I work in healthcare, and this is another reason why you can't get in to see your healthcare provider for 4 months. There you go. Exactly what I was saying, okay? This is a huge problem. I mean, you could be dying of cancer, guys, and you could be sitting there for months waiting to get care. This is not okay. It's destroying all of their healthcare systems. And from my understanding, not that it was that great to begin with, but imagine putting this kind of stress on it. It's just not happening. It's not going to work out. Okay. Yeah, here we go. This is interesting. That's actually my country, brother. It's even worse than this. It's out of control. Every social service has collapsed. Housing prices are through the roof. 60 years of socialism has completely ruined this amazing nation. And I'm not against migration, but it has to be controlled. We had a convicted Brazilian fellow murder a teenager in Braga. I don't know where these places are. I'm sorry. I'm just reading what he says. A guy that already had a record coming in, including crimes committed in the U.S. Here's the thing, guys. I agree. I understand what he's saying, and he's being very reasonable. He's not against migration. But let me say this. At some point, it has to get under control. I would cease all migration. Legal, illegal, doesn't matter. Stop it for a while and then figure out what you want to do, because it's not a necessity. We don't have to accept migrants. We don't have to accept any more people, is what I'm getting at. And that's not a bad thing to say. You need to get your systems in order, figure it out what you want to do, and try and better your country and get rid of all the people you flooded in, that these crazy nut jobs, these Democrat, leftoid nut jobs, whatever they are, even in some cases Republican, conservative, whatever you want to call them, used and exploited, and get them out, guys. Get them out and never allow this again. And then figure out your migration systems, okay? Let's continue watching a little bit more, and then I'm going to wrap it up with a few thoughts.
Se o fiscal entrar, vai ligar pra isso aí.
Yeah, they're just being pushed and shoved around. And that's my point. It's not your culture. It's a different culture. Third world culture, and so on. Have you ever been to Mexico? Have you been to India? Have you been to these places? And I'm not shitting on them. There are amazing people in these countries. Amazing. But understand, it's the same for them when they come over here. It's completely different culture. In Mexico, the way they drive, it's like bumper cars. All the cars have dents and dings on the sides of their cars because they're driving like this, right next to each other and bumping into each other, push and shove. It's not like in the United States or United Kingdom or wherever, where things are more first world and things are more organized and direct and clean, okay? There are people littering everywhere because they don't have the same standards. The littering is unreal in Mexico. And by the way, my wife is Mexican, and we both have very harsh things to say about some of those cultures. It's just really unfortunate. She's very embarrassed for her culture because she can't understand or comprehend why or what's going on. She knows why, actually. She knows why these things happen. But man, she can't stand it. It's embarrassing. Like, growing up, she saw kids just being taught. The parents would just be like, yeah, just throw your trash on the ground outside. It's normal to them. That's why you see trash everywhere in Mexico. There's trash everywhere. And it's the same thing. The driving is the same way. You just drive and bump into each other, and it's insanity, guys. And in India, I'm sure you've seen the videos where they're driving and they're just driving through each other. There's constant, deaths, near misses, and it's insanity. It's just a different culture. I'm giving you an example, okay? Again, there are amazing people in these places, but the cultures coalesce and they develop their own way of things. That's how they are born. That's what they know, okay? And they come over to a country they don't know, and they start doing the things that they know in a country they don't know, and it causes a lot of problems. This is just bare minimum foundation thinking. We're not including the crimes and the terrible things that happen from this stuff, and the culture clash is just insane. Anyway, I don't want to go on about this too long. There's a lot more to talk about when it comes to immigration, and there's going to be a lot more events and a lot more things to go on about when it comes to immigration, illegal immigration, all of it, guys. I've got plenty to say. And my wife does too. Maybe she'll come on sometime. Maybe we can get her to come on and say what she wants to say. It's fascinating, guys. It's interesting being married to a Mexican as well. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. I'll see you in the next one.